We continue now with Governor Sarah Palin inside her home in Wasilla, Alaska. It's time to eat some moose chili cooked by Governor Palin. And before we do, Governor Palin has a story. Governor Palin tells you about the time we first met.
Yes, it was at the GOP convention those years ago, and I kind of chased you down the hall because I was...
Like I now chase you.
Yeah, right, yes. And I said, Greta, I'm Sarah Palin, nice to meet you. And I said, she's on TV. I thought you're 6 feet tall. And she says, I am. She's cool. I like her.
But the fight is now I'm chasing you.
Even on snow machine.
Right, and I caught up. Here we are. I caught up.
You did very well. Hi, is that all? Just a hello? Okay, be very careful. Be very careful. Just put him in that little seat, honey, and he can just let it swing around.
That's fine.
Yeah, good.
Well, I'm going to get some chili. Have you eaten yet? You haven't eaten yet?
No, yeah.
All right.
Good. Did you guys get some chili?
You made the chili?
Okay. I did.
It's delicious.
Thank you very much.
Now, who shot the moose, though?
I think my dad did. Maybe my mom did.
Your mother?
I just grabbed a chunk of their moose meat out of the freezer because we didn't have any moose meat in our freezer the last couple of days.
You went and stole moose meat from your parents?
I did. We stole moose hot dogs from them also. Or caribou hot dogs. I still don't know what it was. They weren't marked on the package.
So you're guessing. So explain to me why you don't shoot moose.
Oh, just because caribou hunts are, for me, a lot easier. They're easier to take the kids on a caribou hunt where you're out four-wheeling and walking through the tundra, the area there. It's just been easier. But
so
if I had an opportunity, I'd shoot a moose too. Caribou too, though, it all depends on what permits you get that season also.
You have to buy one, a permit?
It depends. Different areas you are in a drawing, and if you're lucky enough to win one of the permits, you get to get out there and shoot it. Or there are areas where you don't have to have a drawing permit. There are enough caribou where you can just go out there and shoot. It all depends on what the game management has provided in terms of numbers. If the herd's big enough, you just go shoot.
This is delicious, the moose.
It is.
It's so sweeter, good. Almost. Isn't it sweet, a little bit
kind of sweeter, and much healthier than beef.
It is healthier?
Yes, much healthier than beef, and that's something else, that maybe people don't understand about Alaska is we manage our wildlife so that there's a large population of the moose and the caribou because that's what people eat, especially in rural Alaska. They don't want to have to import beef and pay those huge transportation costs and feed their kids beef that is, perhaps have steroids, chemicals in it. They want to live off the land. So we need game management that allows for healthy populations of moose and caribou, which means taking care of the predators, which is controversial in some parts of the world, especially East Coast. The animal rights groups that do not want to see Alaska have predator control programs.
What kind of predators?
Usually wolf.
They're the ones that are going after the moose and the caribou?
Right, because the wolf population, if it grows too rapidly, then they decimate the population of moose and caribou, and then the people can't eat. So it's a fine balance that has to be struck also with game management and predator control, allowing healthy populations of all the different species, and that's why we have some of the best biologists and scientists in the world who work for our Department of Fish and Game to make sure that they can strike that balance.
When I was here in 1978, the first night I arrived here, the people who picked me up at the airport took me to downtown Anchorage, and I know this is unusual, but it seemed peculiar to me. There was a giant moose walking down the middle of the street.
Always. You could probably see one this morning walking down the street in Anchorage. Yes,
and,
all the time. In our yard.
You have moose in your yard?
Yeah, and one time People magazine was here, and it was, I think it was
this summer. Yeah.
And a mama duck, their babies just hatched, and they came on the lawn, and then a mama moose and 2 babies came out and walked, and then one time in Anchorage, Landon saw a bear just walking across the road in Anchorage.
Tell her about our Juneau governor's house. What do we see outside that front door?
Like, almost every day we see bears.
Bears?
A mama bear and 2 baby bear right there, 2 cubs right outside our door at the governor's mansion in Juneau. But here, yeah, it was kind of cool this summer. It was like it was staged for People magazine. They were here doing a story on trig. So this mama duck and all the babies waddle across the yard, and immediately after, a mama moose and 2 day-old calves. They had just been dropped down the driveway a couple of days earlier. They came prancing across the lawn, and these People magazine photographers, I'm sure they thought, wow, this is surreal. This is what a unique place, which it is, of course, but that was a neat photo op for them.
When we were here, though, when I was here even before that, I was told is if you see a mama moose, go up a tree if she's there with her calf, because she is not friendly with a calf.
You don't mess with them, yeah. It's just like a mama grizzly. When her cubs are around, yeah, you go the other direction. You don't let the mama grizzly rear up on her hind leg.
But at least if you went up the tree, the mooses, with their big, antlers, was having a hard time, couldn't maneuver as quickly and get to you as you scurried up the tree.
Yeah, that's true. People they kind of flirt with disaster when they do mess with the mama moose. If a calf is around, thinking it's just a nice, friendly encounter. No, the mama moose will, she'll fight to the death to protect her calf.
How many caribou do you think you've ever shot?
Oh, just a few as we go on our caribou hunts every year. It depends on who's got the permit and who maybe hasn't shot one in a while. They're the ones who get to do the shooting, and everybody shares in the game. All the family and the friends.
Where do you do this? Do you do it around here, or do you go someplace?
Oh, it depends on what district, what area is open, and how convenient it is. For caribou, it's about an hour drive where we go to hunt. Moose, you can, depending on the season again and the permitting, you see moose around here in this area that can be harvested. And then the processing of it, though, it's kind of a cultural thing where everybody gets together and does the processing of it. Usually, like the patriarch of the family, my dad, he'll do the butchering, and then we all help bone the meat and process it either ourselves, making hamburger and sausages and all that, or nowadays, because there are a couple of meat processing plants around our community, we'll drop it off there and they process it, and then everybody stays up all night long wrapping it and delivering it to different freezers, and then you consume it through the winter.
How long, could a moose feed your family through the winter?
Yeah, depending on how it's processed, sure, yeah. Moose and a caribou, and then the fish that we catch through the summer, and yeah, you can definitely go all winter long without ever purchasing meat, yeah. Just using what you got in your freezer.
And do you fish?
We fish a lot.
Do you fish?
And I fish a lot.
Are you any good at it?
Yes, but we spend most of our time commercial fishing, which, you catch thousands and thousands of pounds a day. So the sport fishing, which I enjoy also because I grew up sport fishing with my dad, but the rod and reel sport fishing, Todd gets a little bit bored with that. He's like, geez, we're going to stay out here in a stream all day long to catch 1 or 2 fish. When he pulls in the nets, in his commercial fishing operation with tens of thousands of pounds, so, yeah, he's like, he doesn't have time to play with his food, he says, with sport fishing. But we still do it because it's fun.